Okay, so for our game controller project, we decided to choose the game F-Zero back on the Super Nintendo. And to do this, we wanted to focus on motion controls, something that the SNES didn't really have, and something that would be kind of far removed from the standard controller. So to come up for something with that, we created this. And since we were playing F-Zero, we decided to model our controller after one of the ships directly from F-Zero. So here we have the Blue Falcon. The whole thing is cardboard, and inside we have our microcontroller that handles all of the input and output. So like I said, most of the control for the game is handled through motion, and we'll look at the code here in a second to show how that works. So most of it is motion control, but there are a few, as you can see, aluminum pads, which are for capacitive touch. So while tilting handles the steering, your throttle in-game is controlled by this top pad. So when you're holding the controller underneath, your thumb is able to control the throttle. And then with your offhand, you can reach up and use these two pads on the sides of the ship to control the weight shifting in the game. So that would be the left and right bumpers on the SNES controller. The tilting handles the D-pad, and we simplified some of the controls and just had the one pad for the B button, so we're kind of ignoring the boost in the game. And as for start and select for navigating the menus, we just have that for the B and A buttons on the board itself. So that's why this is on a hinge, so you can open it and navigate the menus, and then when you're ready to race, you can go ahead and close it up and pick up your ship and start controlling the race. Okay, and here we have the code for the controller. We made it in MakeCode to keep it pretty simple. The whole thing just uses keyboard output, which is picked up by the SNES emulator. So we have here are the four blocks that control the D-pad. So we have all the tilt control that handles WASD. You'll notice that all of them are reversed here. So like D is for left and S or A is for right. That's because the orientation of the board is technically the bottom of the board is facing forward inside the ship. And that was so we could have the cable coming out the back. So all the controls had to be flipped for that. And then here we have the blocks that control the start and select buttons. So we have B is for F, which is mapped to start, and A is to G, which is what I mapped to select. And then over here we have the three capacitive touch blocks that handle the boost, or the throttle, and the left and right weight shifting. So if we go here, we can look at, this is the keyboard layout. So like I said, we have D-pad on WASD, left and right are on 1 and 9, start and select are in the middle on F and G, and then we have the face buttons on these keys here. We didn't use most of these. These two are just brakes in the game, and we decided to have no brakes. And A, we decided we could ignore, so that we just had steering through the WASD and the shifting, and then boost for speed. And that just kept it a little bit simpler. So these are how all the keys are mapped, and that matches our code here. Okay, so here we are with the game. I have it set up so that you can see the controller since it's all motion control, and we have the game here as well. So, like I said, to navigate the menu, you have to open the ship up. You can use one of the face buttons to navigate the menus, the other to select. We're using the Blue Falcon as our controller, so obviously that's the ship we're gonna go with. Gonna go beginner, because I have yet to win any races with this controller, but hopefully you'll be able to see kind of how it works with this cramped setup. Oop. So we have boost here, and then we have tilt for steering. I need to keep as straight as I can, because any fine control with this controller has kind of gone out the window. Please turn, please turn, please turn. There we go. I've noticed it's very easy to get caught on the walls, and any contact with the other ships almost immediately leads to dying. So hopefully we can get a little bit better of a result in the next try. Like I said, I haven't even made it through more than one lap with this thing, because all the control is just gone. So here we are going straight again. Got my finger on the boost. Made that turn, sort of. We're still in the gravel. All the other ships have so much more control than us. The weight shifting does work. Unfortunately, you have to let go of your throttle to do it. Otherwise, the ship tries to jump. So we aren't going to use that. We're going to focus purely on boosting and tilting to try and steer. Maybe we'll not use our throttle so much as we will our steering to try and make it. This isn't a controller for winners. This is a controller for people that like to torture themselves. So don't get it wrong. You're not going to be winning any races with this beautiful cardboard controller. Okay, we made one lap. Let's see if we can't get our energy back. And we got a little bit before the controller screwed us over. Something tells me we're gonna die here in about 2 seconds. So we'll go ahead and open the controller up again so we can get to our menu, and I think that that's about all the torture I have in me for today. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to the menu, and I hope that you enjoyed our wacky little F-Zero Blue Falcon controller.